What's good, y'all? Welcome to my review to this week's episode of Attack on Titan. Ooh, yo, 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 that ending, that post-credit scene with Levi. Ooh, am I hype? I'm so hype. Now, apparently, I mentioned this, I believe, my review of last episode. Once again, apologies for that delay, guys, but hey, I'm here. I'm reviewing this on time. Good. Yeah. Anyway, so, yeah. We're back. I mentioned this before, but apparently, TG is going to be going on a not TG, Attack on Titan is apparently going to be going on a 3-week break, apparently, after this episode. So next week there isn't going to be anything for the next 3 weeks. I'm kind of pissed off at that because, you know, they left us off on such a cliffhanger with that post-credit scene. I was like, I need to know what's in that damn basement. Come on, Squid Studios, don't play me like this. But the other hand, I'm kind of glad because that's only because I only got to do my Tsunami reviews on Sunday, which means more time I can actually do all my homework. And, yo, make sure I actually pass. I mean, my grades are fine. I'm doing pretty good, but doing 3 reviews on Sundays is definitely not good for my psyche and my stress levels. Yeah. Anyway, guys, so, yeah. This week's hype. But before we begin, of course, let me talk about the dub real quick. The dub, once again, fucking phenomenal. I forget, whoever voices Aaron, once again, did a phenomenal job this week. He's been killing it lately with these last 2 episodes. I'm super excited to, of course, now we got, I think next up is, of course, the stuff with the store where she actually kills her father. That's going to be hype, seeing that, rewatching that dubbed. But, of course, now if you guys saw my Dragon Ball Super review, you guys also know that I talked about how I actually watched the first episode of Goblin Slayer, and I said I was going to put it off and talk about it here, my Attack on Titan review. So, let me talk about the Goblin Slayer real quick, because, man, did that go from 0 to 100 real quick. Oh my god, that episode! Like, I heard about the controversy when this first happened. Everyone was talking about, about the controversy, everyone was talking about this episode. Like, Ian Crunchwell said, we're now going to put a little, warning at the start of every episode, tell them, hey, this is Berserk! So, watch yourself. This isn't a Senkai, shitty harem anime or something. This isn't, I don't know. I almost don't want to see something like a Konosuba, because I've heard Konosuba is fucking amazing, but those kind of isekai fantasy series, that you wouldn't expect to be a Berserk, very Berserk-esque. Which I kind of knew what I expected from this, because everyone's talking it's a dark fantasy series, it's like Berserk, it's like Berserk. So I kind of had a feeling of what I was getting in for. So then when everyone's talking about the conference, I was like, what are y'all bitching about? Did somebody get raped? Was there child abuse? And I was right on both of those fronts, because that rape scene, oh my. Oh my. I mean, it works apparently with the lore of goblins. My man Cheese has talked about this, how apparently, in goblin lore, there are no women. So, for goblins to reproduce, they kind of have to kidnap and rape women. Yep. Then you also got, the Goblin Slayer himself slaughtering those, defenseless kids with their own weapons. He clubbed them to death. And, the little mage girl pissed herself. Oh man, this series is going to be intense. I can already tell you. I'm waiting for the dub. I'm waiting for the dub with this series. Oh my god, but yeah. Goblin Slayer, I loved it. That episode was damn good though. I'm very intrigued what's going on next. And I already know all the Berserk fans are actually jealous, these motherfuckers get a decent anime. These guys get a good anime attention. Yeah, we over here, the OGs get jack shit. Motherfuckers. Like I saw this one meme that Chibi put out as one of his videos. It was talking about countries itself. It was oh my god, who can watch this? There's so much nonsense. There's so much. It's so gory and offensive. Like, who would watch this? And then they had this little monkey turn around that represent Berserk fans. Chibi put this in his video. That's so Berserk fans right now. They're so jealous that they get a decent anime, and so is Vinland Saga, because they're getting Wit Studios. Yet y'all Berserk fans get jack. I mean, I'm all for a good all-around Berserk OT. I do like the Berserk animes we got, but I have yet to read the manga personally. But yeah. Anyway, enough of me talking about Goblin Slayer, the dub. Let's get to this week's, because this episode's fucking hot as a prelude to the taking back of Walmaria. I need 3 weeks. 3 weeks. Come on, with series. Why'd you have to play me like that? But anyway, let us begin. So we started off. We got some recap of what happened in the previous episode, including some stuff extra further mentioned and talk about my last week's review, was actually, of course, the Executioner from Hell, which is essentially the gallows for Titans. So instead of it being like just a blade that comes down on you, I don't think it's even called the gallows, but you guys know what I'm talking about. That comes down and chops your head off, decapitating you. Instead, they have like this giant block of wood put in between these two walls. I guess the wall, or maybe of Aaron's Titan armor is like keeping these two pieces together. Titans go into there, they drop it down there, and it kills them instantly because it hands them right on the nape, puts a giant hole in them, which of course kills. So, now curious how the thing works. Does someone just sit there and just, axe down whenever a Titan gets in there? Like, I'm wondering curious how, they actually, use that thing in actual practice. Because we see it get demonstrated, but that's about it. We also see Aaron's nose bleeding in there because he's, got a bit of overworking himself. He's been overworking himself with these tasks and everything because, as you know, he can get very easily replaced. So instead, he's going to, work twice as hard than he did before to make sure, he supports him and he probably doesn't, get replaced or anything. So anyway, back to the episode. Back to the actual episode itself. So we start off, and we got these guys. We got Alex, the old guy that we saw working with Erwin and Pixie. The old guy. I believe his name was Alexander, the guy that created that piece of art, as he likes to call it, that torture device. Him, along with a bunch of other guys, Erwin and Levi. They're talking, as well as Hanji. They're talking about, of course, what they're going to do with this. They ask them, they can't really do much research on the actual syringe itself or the context of it in the bottle, because as soon as it's exposed to air, it evaporates, so making analysis very difficult. So it's pretty much damn near impossible for them to know what the hell this is, other than we know that it's apparently derived from some sort of human fluid, some sort of human fluid. Anyway, so then it was wondering okay, who should take? So instead of us, trying to figure out what this thing does, why don't we use this to our advantage? To, of course, retake the walls, figure out how these Titans work, yada 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 yada. So they first go into Erwin, but he says nah, because he's pretty much insulted when he's missing his arm. So they end up deciding on Levi, and I like Levi's just dude, if it's orders, just tell me. Why are you even asking me? And Levi actually asked, Levi's been actually asked Erwin a lot of questions. He pretty much just wanting to know what is Erwin's mindset? What does he perceive for the future? What does Erwin want to do after, everything's all said and when they recapture Walmaria? I'm curious why Levi's asked something like that. I feel like it is just to know what is Erwin's state of mind is, and just see what he's thinking at the current moment, so Levi kind of knows what to expect from him or something. My man Cheese will probably go into a little bit more detail about that. Anyway, so of course she's like, okay. He asks him what will you do if we after we find what's inside the basement? What will you do? And he says, I don't know. He doesn't know what he's going to do after everything's all said. Then they retake Walmaria and everything. He doesn't know what to do. He'll find out once when it's all said and done. He's like, all right, I see. And takes it. So then we get over to Hanji. She's talking with Erwin again with a bunch of guys. They talk about Grisha, Erwin's father. They're talking about of course, that he was a human that came outside the walls, like Annie, and Erwin, and not Annie, Bertolt, and Reiner. They all have powers. They only have Titan powers, but Grisha's always been on the side of humanity. He's most likely always been over there, trying to figure out, looking for the royal family since the very beginning, which he said that would probably take some extreme dedication to do that for that long. Anyway. And so they all end up leaving Levi alone with Erwin. And so he asked him what are you going to do first after we take back Walmaria? A defense plan is going to be first, but what after that? take back, the eliminated threats. Like I said before, we're going to discuss, what we're going to do next when we get there. He's like, alright, dude, the reason I've been asking you all these questions is because I honestly don't think you're going to last that long. You're not going to live that long. Because, as we know, the dude is missing an arm. So, because of that, he ain't no spring chicken like he used to be. He's more or less just just dead weight. And he says, dude, let Hanji call the shots. You just stay here and pretty much just strategize. We can't lose you. And he's like, if I don't do this, if I do not go in there, our success rate will plummet. And Levi tries to argue with him, tell him, dude, I'll just tell him that you're going out on this because, because we argued until you gave in, yada, yada, yada. But that's another thing that happened. And Levi asks him, you good with that, with us just, telling me the teacher that, telling the guys that you just, gave in and that you were just sitting out. And he remembers, the stuff with his father. And he says, no, I'm staying in there. I'm okay with just being food. And Levi says, but dude, if you end up biting the dust midway through this, we're fucked at that point. We have a 0% chance of winning. We need you for this. So you can't go in there willy-nilly into the battlefield full of Titans and just, hopefully luck is on your side and, you can just survive that. Well, we can't have you just sitting there when you're down one arm, dude. And like I said, he said, no, dude, I'm already going with food, this is what I plan on doing, this is what I'm going to do, and, this is why I've been doing this. And he says, and Levi's like, yo, whoa, use that bluff on me, or use that bluff around me, and I'll break your fucking legs. But don't worry, I'll make it nice and easy to reattach them. And the look on Levi's face as he stretches his arm out, he's like, bro, I'm going to break your fucking legs if you use that bluff around me. The shadowing of what Steve's added to his eyes, it's amazing. That was an amazing shot. And he's like, but dude, while you're sitting there weeping, with two broken legs, it's gonna be a bitch to go in the bathroom and take a shit. It's like, I would like to avoid that. And so he says, alright, dude, so why is this? He says, no, dude, whatever is in that basement, I have to be there to see it, because, everything with his father, everyone needs to see this. He needs to know what the hell's in that damn basement just as much as we do. And he says, and Levi says, why is this so important to you? Is it more important than your legs? He says, yes. More important than humanity's victory? Yes. Alright. And Levi leaves as he says, Erwin, I trust your judgment. And that's where he leaves. So then we get to this bar area. The princess takes the decent. The pretty much just takes up the rest of the episode. We're at this bar, and since this is the day before Walmart, special day, they're actually serving these guys meat. And I love when they first see it. Connie's like, wait, is this meat? Sasha's like, am I dreaming? And we got the dude with his cup in hand, his mug in hand, being like, since today's a special day, so cheers and eat up. And then literally everybody just loses their shit. They're pretty much turning to Titans trying to eat humans at this point. They're like a pack of starving wool. They're fighting each other. Oh my god, Sasha. Oh my god, Sasha. Sasha here, sweet baby Jesus. Everyone's arguing, hey, that piece could count for two. He's like, fuck no, it doesn't. Sanji is legit trying to eat the whole thing by herself. Connie's over there having her a sleeper hold over there, trying to strangle her. And then she's like, and then Jean tries to get the meal with her. Then she legit starts biting his thumb, drawing blood nevertheless. And Connie's like, you should be knocked out over. Why are you not knocked out? Sasha, aka Potato Girl, this woman knows no limits when it comes to food. She's like fucking Goku up in there. Ultra instincts, my dude. You cannot stop her. So then they had to tie her up with the help of Aaron. They had to tie her up for them to finally, for Sasha to finally, calm down. That was without a doubt the highlight of the episode. Minus, the ED, what happened the ending. But and then, while everything's kind of calmed down, people got their meat. The food looks damn good, though. I think it's actually the first, and they actually talk about how it's weird that Sasha is acting so selfish and, wants the whole thing to herself when, back in season 1, she like, you know, offered everyone a piece of meat. Like, you know, she's like remember in season 1 where she actually smuggled some meat out. They said, like, you know, we're gonna have this later on. They're like, why is she suddenly like this? I mean, I guess it's because, you know, it's actually cooked right in front of her. All of her, like, you know, humanity and thought, you know, humanity and everything, like, you know, would, you know, of her, like, you know, into her thoughts just kind of like went over, and all she thought about was just meat. And she was like, I'm going to have this meat if it kills me. I don't care who gets in my way. I'm getting some of that damn beef, you know. So that, I'm assuming that's what was going on with Sasha's head in that moment. So then we get to Aaron. And Aaron actually remembers, you know, talking about, you know, of course, from the Colossal time. We actually found out that it's only been about 4 months since season 1. It's only been about 4 months. 4 months! You know, I actually expected it to be longer. Now, not just because, of course, there was a huge, like, you know, 3-year delay, 3-4 years for us to get season 2. No. Just from whatever went down this episode, in this anime, I honestly expected it to be more than just 4 months. Maybe, like, 6 months at most. At, like, you know, 6 months, or maybe, okay, maybe not a year, but, like, about 6 months. But 4 months? And also, yeah, not much, a lot has happened in those 4 months, you know. Aaron became a Titan, you know. We learned about Ymir. We learned about Historia. We learned about Levi. We had our boy Kenny. We've had a lot of shit has gone down in these 6 months, especially if you don't count the Lost Girls OVAs. And we got, and so then, you know, while they're eating, you know, Jean is like provoking Aaron, talking about, like, you know, how Aaron is suicidal and everything because, you know, he just like goes in there head first in the challenge without much thought and he's just like, fuck it, let's go, you know. Jean is up and he's like, and Aaron's like, wait, who are you talking about, Jean? He's like, well, I'm honestly talking about you. It's like, you know, by most standards, I'm actually quite an old person, which makes you a coward, John. And which then, of course, like always, they come to blows. They start arguing and fighting with each other. And I love, we got Bull Cut over there being like, what the hell is going on? Like, the man does not know this is a normal occurrence. Aaron and John, yo, coming to blows. So these guys go at it at each other while throwing them off. I love when Aaron says, you know, show your mom some respect, John boy. That was hilarious. These guys were like, you know, punching the living shit out of it. And keep on, nobody interrupts the fight. Nobody. Not even me. Even Aaron Armin comes in there and asks Mikasa, should we break this up? And she's like, yeah, let them fight. So they keep going to blows. Our animation here was fucking amazing, so good job to Wit Studios for that. We get it. And so then like some time passes and they're like, why hasn't anybody stopped us yet? So and then hot boy Levi comes in there and just beats them both. A kick to Aaron, a punch to Jean, and they're like, they're both down to the ground. He's like, alright everybody, you guys go quite rowdy, time for y'all to go to bed. And then we see that Sasha is still tied up. I don't know if they fed her or not, but I hope they did, because Sasha deserved that meat. If they didn't, that was cruel, motherfuckers, not giving Potato Girl her meat. Absolutely unforgivable. Anyway, so after everything's all said and done, we get back to Aaron, Mikasa, and Armin, where they probably just kind of like reminisce about the past and like, you know, what's going to happen like after we retake the wall. Like, you know, will we regain our old days back when they were kids? You know, when it was like when they didn't have much of a care in the world, where, you know, the Colossal Titan wasn't there, and they took the soy photos, you know, killing the Titans and all that stuff. Will they recreate the old days? You know what? We're going to try and get back those days, but there are some things that are forever changed that we cannot get back. And Armin also talks about, you know, wanting to see the ocean, because that was always one thing. We also saw that back at the beginning of Season 3 with that whole scene with Aaron with the long hair, with him in front of the ocean being like, Armin said that the ocean is a great expansive water. You know, that whole stuff. So I'm curious about that whole scene, if that actually happens, or if that was just like some dream sequence. I know there was actually one of the covers on one of the manga volumes, because I saw it like at Barnes and Nobles or something, and I know I remember that was actually one of like the little shots they pulled up when Season 3 was initially announced, at like the end of Season 2, or a little bit later after Season 2. So yeah, definitely curious where all that stuff leads up to. later on in season 3, but we'll have to wait and see whatever that's all about. And so, and then next, while they're just sitting there, we see that Aaron, Mikasa, and Armin recognize this one blonde, which the original thing is that guy that they knew back when they were kids. You know, the dude that was working for the Rose guys, but he was always drunk. He was always drinking, and the guy took Aaron away from the rubble when the Titan first came up, and the infamous scene where Aaron's mom died, all that stuff. They originally did, but just some random dude that just looks like him. And so this whole thing, we see that Levi just chilling behind this wall. I'm assuming probably listening into their conversation, if I had to assume. And so, and then we get to the next morning, and everyone is cheering for the Scouts. They're like, yeah, take back Walmaria. Let's go, guys. Let's go. They're all cheering. They're giving them a standing ovation. They're like, what the fuck is going on? Of course, they're and then we also see that Frediel, I forgot how you pronounce it, but the dude that Hancho was working with, help her out with the coup that was going on, to get the media to print out the facts about how the regime that we had right now was just nothing but false and lies, yada 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 yada. So he's cheering them on. He most likely leaked this stuff out, of course, with the fight that broke out with Aaron and John. That probably also didn't help with that. So everyone's giving them a standing ovation, everyone's cheering it. And everyone's like, has this ever happened to the Scouts where they actually get cheers? And everyone says for as long as I've been here, this is the first time. And so everyone just gets in there and just yeah! He starts screaming and everyone gets into it and everything. And they're like, alright, let's take back Walmaria! City! Advance, And we end the episode with them advancing to, of course, take back Walmart. That was an epic shot. And we end the actual episode before we get to the post-credit stuff. That post-credit stuff. We get to see the shot of Reiner with this other guy, which at first I thought was Bertolt, but apparently when I was looking at it a little bit again, it's actually it looks like the dude that I think ended up dying in the end, around the first half of season 1. I think it was that same guy that Reiner and Bertolt knew. So it looks like he was still alive, and he is, of course, also a Titan shifter. I'm pretty sure he was actually also an LP as well. But now, let's get to the stuff that was shown off with the post-credits. So, it starts off with the ED after Reiner. It starts off pretty normal, we got the garage and everything. Song plays, but they're all the end of it. It starts glitching out, we got the scene of Levi saying, "Oh my, you are." And then it's just and then the ED just goes to shit, and it's glitching up like crazy. We got the Beast Titan, there's other random shots of the Key, the Smiling Titan, weird shit pops up. And then we get to the actual parts there where we see Aaron. He has those little marks that he gets whenever he transforms in Titan. So we recently transformed. We see Levi, covered in blood. His whole face is covered in blood. And we got Mikasa, with tears in her eye. But we also saw a corpse, kind of just laying down there on the bottom. So, what happened? Did Armin die? I doubt it. But did he? That would explain why Mikasa's kind of crying. And Levi says, "Do you have the faintest idea of what you're doing?" And they're using the butt of his swords, punches Aaron, punches or slaps Aaron, whatever you want to call it, just hits it with Aaron against his face, sends Aaron Mikasa just be you hurt Aaron, you gonna get it? Comes on top of Levi, brings her blade to his throat, and then they're kind of battling it out. So Mikasa, she's not in full-fledged kill mode. She probably wants to kill Levi at this current moment. And we see smoke coming off of Levi. Maybe it's Mikasa blade, maybe it's from the actual Bill, or maybe it's from Aaron. But we see smoke coming off of Levi. Has he become a Titan shifter? So many questions. I hope we get some answers. So, yeah, that is the end of Attack on Titan. This week's episode of Attack on Titan Season 3. Now, I don't know how much of this I'm curious what we're going to see from here. I'm not sure if we are going to get anything in this really great. I haven't heard anything official from Yunko or Chibi or really anybody. Only just that one tweet from my man Platinum. So, is it taking a 3 week break? If it is, fuck man, I got 3 weeks to know what's in that damn basement. But it's going to be weird. And plus, I can finally, of course, that's a lot more stress off me that I have to deal with, my college work and everything. So yeah, next episode, it's gonna be fucking lit. I might even do a reaction to if my iPad's actually working. Because, in case you guys wonder why I've not been doing many reaction videos lately, you know, the new Super trailer I've done one for, or Aquaman, or really anything in this current moment, it's just because my iPad hasn't been working with me. I'm going to get that thing fixed. The battery's messed up with it. The charging port doesn't really work as much as it used to. So hopefully we're going to get that thing fixed next weekend. So if it is, I will definitely be doing a reaction video to this week's episode, to the next episode of Attack on Titan Season 3 if we do get it fixed, because I think I'm going to need to get my reaction for whatever goes down in the next episode, because it's going to be fucking lit. Anyway, guys, so hope y'all enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Oh, by the way, of course, I gave this episode a 10 out of 10. So hope y'all enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter if you feel like it. Links down in the description box below. And as always, come back for more. See you guys next time.